Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R show. I'm Ron, and we see Malcolm is not here today. Again, the guy is on the road. We all know he's a workhorse. But I got my guy Alec here from Sports Talk 319. And today we're going to be talking about our favorite prospects in this year's NFL draft. Alec.
Yeah, man, what's going on? Thank you for having me. I'm always ready to talk draft. Make sure you guys check me out on Twitter, AlecElijah12. Man, I got so many draft lists coming out, a lot of stuff. I will keep everybody in the loop as much as I can this draft, so make sure you guys check me out. But yeah, let's get on to it, man. I got a lot of favorite prospects, but I can't wait to talk about this one. So, my favorite prospect this draft season, if you follow me on Twitter, this is no shock whatsoever. I've been high on this guy probably since last season, is Sauce Gardner. My cornerback one. He's been my cornerback one since last season. I went to war with a lot of LSU fan pages that claimed Derek Stingley was cornerback one. I got a lot of love for Derek Stingley. No disrespect, because he has one of the most tremendous freshman tapes I've ever seen. Unfortunately, that's all he has to feature. Sauce Gardner, he's given you 3 consistent years of no touchdowns, absolutely aggressiveness, and he showcased that he's an island, which I really like. There's not too many island cornerbacks in this draft. I call them pure cornerbacks. I mean, if we just look at some of the stats too, going back to 2019, 3 interceptions. He wasn't targeted a lot. 2020, he gives you another 3. And in 2021, he gives you another 3. And it's only because he wasn't targeted a lot. But what I really like about Sauce is not only am I high on him, but there's legitimate corners in the NFL like Jalen Ramsey that are genuinely high on him. So not only do they see game, but I see the game that Sauce is putting together as well. And like I said, he was extreme. He showed some serious length, which I felt like is going to propel him at the next level. It's going to help him stay in depth with some of these bigger, there's a lot of big wide receivers in the NFL now. A lot of them are using this whole technique where they like to back into cornerbacks and win those 50-50 balls. But Sauce Gardner is not one of the cornerbacks that you want to get into a 50-50 ball battle with. Like I said, he's an island cornerback. I think he's going to translate over to a CB1 very early, very well. Unless he goes to a team, like Philadelphia, who has, guys like Big Play Slay still there. Savvy veteran to learn from. I wouldn't mind seeing him, go over to the Ravens, because he'd still play cornerback 1. They'd probably get rid of Marcus Peters in that situation, I feel, and keep Marlon Humphrey, because putting Marlon Humphrey and Sauce Gardner on the same defense, because Marlon Humphrey is the perfect slot corner. To me, Sauce Gardner is the perfect outside corner. Like, there's not much that you can ask for that he doesn't already give you. So I feel like that's kind of why that's been my perfect and favorite prospect this draft class. He tested very well at the combine as well. Yeah. Which I know people were questioning if he was going to really measure in. There were some sites, ESPN, I think too, has him listed at 6'2", but he actually measured in at 6'3" with a 79-inch wingspan to go.
Yeah. The wingspan was insane.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. He ran a 4.4. I know his first unofficial run was a 4.5, but his actual official time ended up being a 4.4. So I know that quieted down a lot of people that were kind of questioning if he was going to be one of those runners or one of those cornerbacks that could run for longer distances, being that he's a lengthy corner. He definitely can. So I feel like that.
What's your comp for him? I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know. I don't have a comp for him yet.
I'm not one of those guys that comps people just because I feel like comparison is one of those thieves of joy with players. I mean, if I am going to comp him to somebody, it's going to be, cornerback ones. It's going to be lockdown guys like Jair. It's going to be guys like Ramsey. It's going to be guys that I feel like are going to be on the outside a whole lot and just doing more with the opposing team's best wide receiver rather than going just against anybody that's lined up against them. They're going to want to go after that challenge, which I really liked because Sauce had to share the spotlight with Kobe Bryant, another corner who I had in my top 5.
He has so much swag though. Like, I mean, like from Cincinnati isn't a big program. And then we talked about Desmond as well in one of our other episodes. But Sauce also helped put them on the map with just the tweets and the hype you said from other NFL corners. Like even Ryan Clark on ESPN was singing his praise all year. Like, hey, this guy in Cincinnati, he's a dude. Like, then you said he tested 4.4. That's the only thing that people question was speed. We knew he had everything else. It was just like, okay, can he run? When he ran, it's like, okay, the tape shows he can run, but just to prove it via the number, that's all that was needed for him. So he's really checked every box.
And that's the thing. That's what really the combine is for. I feel, me personally, a lot of people were like, well, why are you putting out lists that are coming out pre-combine? Because to me, really, the combine, all it really does is it's going to prove, your hypothesis about the player. They're going to show you that the proof is in the pudding on the game tape. But when it comes to the combine, they're going to show you the test numbers that, these statistic nerds really want to see the most.
Yeah. So I think Sauce put on the show, he proved that he's proved all his, supporters right and all the haters wrong. So, but my prospect is another fan favorite. We got Jordan Davis. I had to write it down. Just his measurable, just for everyone, just for fun. 6'6", 98th percentile for a D tackle. 341 pounds, 97th percentile for a D tackle. He ran a 4.78 at 341 pounds. That's a 94th percentile 40-yard dash. His freaking 10-yard split was 1.68. I think that was one of his most I was so amazed by that stat because of his size to be moving like that. If you all watch the video, it's
those D linemen. I mean, the D linemen in this draft, they've been moving. Like for Jordan Davis, I mean, I watched his 40 tape. It's the video on scary. Twitter. Like, I'm like, dude, how is he moving? Like, he'd beat me in a 40. That's the crazy thing. Like, I weigh $140. Jordan Davis is beating me in a 40.
No, imagine if you were the dummy that was standing at the end of the 40 and he hit you would die. He ran so fast that I looked at the tape and I legit started getting slightly scared. Like if I was at the end, he didn't see me and he hit me, I would be out cold on the ground. He's that big. Yeah, you're moving that fast. It's literally almost not fair. And then you're like, okay, well, he's not gonna be ever running 40 yards. But again, we talked about his 10-yard split. It was the 86th percentile. He was elite at that as well. And we all know what he's done. What are people going to say about him? Low snap count. But we also have to think about this. In the fourth quarter, Georgia was never really losing this whole season. He didn't have to play the fourth quarter. And, I mean, we know that the Georgia D-line. You're playing with 2 other first-round picks. Wyatt tested as a 96th percentile athlete as well. He's also going to be a first-round pick. And everyone has been telling me, I haven't watched the tape on him yet, that the guy in 88 is going to be a top 15 pick next year at the D-tackle position. So you're playing with 3 first-round interior D linemen.
And that's the thing that's what people see. That's why I feel like watching the tape is more important than watching what's on the box. Yeah. Because you're going to look at stuff like that and you're going to tell me that because of a low snap count, you're not going to draft a guy that's running that fast, doing the things that Jordan Davis is doing. And
he's the best run stuffer in the draft.
Yeah, like it's not his fault that Georgia was up in the fourth quarter. If anything, coaches should be they should be sending Georgia a card. You're preserving his legs, you're preserving his body.
Yeah,
the trenches, like I don't know if people realize this. I've never been a lineman. I got mad respect for the linemen. The trenches get treacherous. Like they seriously go to war in the trenches. For him
I want that guy going to war for my team.
Yeah, like for him to not be banged up, for him to have this low snap count, be as physical and as aggressive, and like you said, being the run stuffer that he is, teams should want this guy. This should be the guy that teams are like, give me, please.
This is Ray Lewis. We all know in 2004 begged the Ravens to get Haloti Ngata or just a D tackle that could just stuff the lane and that can run. After they got that D tackle, Ray Lewis became the All-Pro again after having a couple of years of falling off. This is a linebacker's like dream. This is like a QB center. I guess you buy him a car because he's gonna make your life easier as a linebacker. Jacoby Dean, we all know he's undersized. I think he's still an amazing player, but this guy and other D tackles helped a smaller size linebacker be able to run. He'll help whatever linebacker is on the field with the team. And again, I mean, he's just a fun guy. I mean, you see with him in like the interviews stuff, he's hilarious. When he's moving, all the other D linemen that are also freaks, by the way, are like, oh no, I'm really athletic and I'm really doing a great job. But I look at him and I'm like, okay, he's the biggest freak here though. Yeah. Like there was a lot of freaks this weekend that were just doing huge athletic feats. But when you see him, it's like, oh, this is like when we saw Calvin Johnson. Like he tested like that freaky, like, oh, Calvin's 6'5", 230, but ran 4.3 in somebody else's shoes. Like he had that type of freakish level combine. I think his draft stock rose, and I was even questioning him being a top 15 pick.
He had the I believe it was for all the tests of the percentiles and everything. He's the second one now after Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson's still
he had a 10 real relative athletic score. He had 10. Like, he was the second. Well, he was the second player like ever.
Second player ever, like under Calvin Johnson to do that. Like for teams to be like, oh let's look at his snap count. Like no,
there's no way he falls past the Chargers. That's my floor for him now. Is the Chargers. It's no way the Chargers can convince me that he doesn't like. He feels too many needs.
I really like if Atlanta doesn't go after a corner. I genuinely feel like this is a guy that Atlanta needs to target because they're a team that just needs help everywhere. And he's one of those guys that can give you immediate impact.
Like day one. He's an NFL body. Well, he's actually better than since I've been alive watching the Cowboys. He'd probably be the best run stopper defense tackle we've had in 20 years. He's 21? Like already, he's an NFL body.
And he's already had comps to Vince Wilfork.
Yeah, so we know that's a Hall of. Well, we know Vince is going in. Like, and again with the snap count, you don't need to play 100% of the snaps. He needs to play 70% of the snaps for him to be effective. That's all you need him to play. And I think the pass rushing will come. I understand that he wasn't asked to do that at Georgia. With that type of athletic profile, you blame your D lineman coach if he can't get right with pass rushing because he has the tools.
He's still young though. He's still young. He's got tons of room to grow. His ceiling is extremely high.
Yeah, which is what you're looking for. But yeah, again, thanks Alec for coming on. Make sure to follow us on the M&R Show at Malcolm Ron Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, continue sharing with your friends. And if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you are subscribing. Again, thanks Alex for coming on, and we're going to drop his Twitter and Instagram in the bio. All right, bye.